at these events, there's generally a lot of questions for the vet. The vet is probably the highlight of the night in terms of seeing what they have to say and what tips they have to say. Sometimes when a vet comes out to a farm, there isn't time to ask those questions that there is here tonight. So it's really practical, it's really informative, and it's just a chat between myself and Sarah around calving the cow. We have a live demo, a calf coming out of a fiberglass cow. So farmers really love that, and they really would say like seeing tips for that.
So tonight Adam has provided a fiberglass cow with a calf inside it, and I've only seen it for the first time tonight, so I'm sure he'll have the head back or the foot back, and it's just to talk farmers through about what to do when they're faced with an abnormal situation, and what to do if their cow isn't progressing properly at calving, and then what to do to try and maybe revive the calf when it comes out, and then a bit about colostrum to the newborn calf and scour problems as well.
Hello everybody. I can't say I've done this in front of this many people before, but anyway, I'll try and get them out. But I suppose the most important thing is to try and have an individual calf and pen or a calving area for your cow. Of course, it's a stressful time, so if you can if it's a cow, maybe try and get it into the pen a day or two before you think they're going to be calving, and a heifer might be a bit sooner, maybe a week before that. But if you do come on a cow or a heifer, we'll say they're sick for calving, there's a bit of mucus on the vulva, the tail is out, they're restless, leave them there. That's the stage 1 of labour. So, you don't want to disturb them. You probably all see yourselves, you go at that, then something stressful happens and it goes off them again. So, if they're in stage 1, leave them as they are until they reach stage 2, and then if it's at that point, then you can move them to the calving pen. Does that sound right?
Yes, no, that's perfect. Yeah, textbook stuff. I suppose, in terms of facilities, we'll say what's the minimum requirement on a beef farm, we'll say, in terms of calving gates or a way of restraining a cow?
Okay, well, I'm going to say obviously in Clamart, they're second to none, absolutely top of the range. But I suppose, it's important to know safety. Safety is number one, and 25% of accidents on farms are from livestock, and the calf and cow is probably the most dangerous animal you have on the farm. So a minimum of one open to the bottom restraint for the cow. So it's important that it's open to the bottom, because if the cow goes down, the bar at the bottom might catch their neck. So you want to have the gate open, self-locking, and a wide gate coming out around the side of her, either attached to the locking gate itself, and then a rope or a chain at the back that you can be able to restrain her that way.
That's safety for the farmer and the vet.
And for anyone handling neighbours, whoever you have to get in,
How long are you saying to leave that cow before you go in to handle, to see is everything coming okay, or when should you start worrying that something needs to be happening here or it isn't happening? What are you saying in terms of hours?
Okay, well, it obviously varies from animal to animal, and the way I always look at it is about predicting what's going to happen and the progression of the cow. So generally, from stage 1 of labour, so that's your raised tail, your up and down, your bit of mucus, you can't leave it for 6 hours. Now, once you see the water bag or you see feet, 2 hours maximum. That's provided the water bag looks normal, there's no smell, there's no cleanings coming, things like that.
Okay, so 2 hours is a good ballpark to say, okay. Right, so we're gonna handle this cow. She has a water bag out, you didn't see it, but the water bag out has been out now 2 hours, and we're gonna handle her. So, talk to me about hygiene in terms of, talk to me about maybe using lube and stuff like that. Is both very important points in terms of going after that cow.
Yeah, of course. So lubrication is number one, and your gloves all about biosecurity. And I suppose as well, when you're handling a cow, you're going into the uterus. Once you're gone in past your elbow, you're gone in past the vagina, then you're in the uterus, and the uterine wall is much more fragile than that. So, having yourself well lubricated and having your gloves on and your gown on are really important. I always put a hat on as well to stop getting my hair. But it's just one thing I meant to say there when you're talking about progression. I'm saying 6 hours from sickness, but if that cow is forcing and nothing is happening, there's something wrong. It's all about progressing. If it's progressing normally, then it's okay.
So if she's making progress, just leave her alone. She'll probably do it herself.
9 times out of 10, they're going to do it themselves anyway, so,
Okay, wearing gloves, so you talk about lubrication. Very liquid? Is it?
No. You get your Bovivet or your whatever we have here.
Why not very liquid?
Well, I suppose it's an irritant, and you're putting your hand into the uterus, so you're going to, and any foreign body is going in somewhere where they're not supposed to be, you're going to cause some irritation.
So she's been at it 2 hours, there'll be no progress made. Talk to me about putting on ropes down.
Okay, well, I suppose another thing you need to think about before you start doing that, when you've your glove hand, you've your lubrication on, all I'm thinking of then is presentation. Am I going to get is there 2 feet coming, is the head coming?
Okay.
There is. If the water bag is normal, everything is fine. So I'm going to put my hand in here. and I feel the head, I feel the 2 feet. What I'd always do there as well is I'll pinch in between the digits, check the reflexes of the calf. Is he sucking my finger? Is he putting his feet back? Because if these reflexes are starting to go down, that's going to affect my decision as well. Is he going to withstand a big pull? You know, it is going to be bear in my mind whether I'm going to.
In terms of making that call, is there tips there that would say before you put on the jack or before you put on ropes, geez, this calf isn't going to come here, rings there quick?
Oh yeah, well, like I said, you know, predicting what's going to happen. There's a lot of times the farmer's going to ring me and go, that cow I told you about, there's going to be a section of his calf now. You know, they're a calf to big blue, they're young heifer. You put your hand in, you know, you're always focusing on the calf, but you have to focus on the cow as well. Has she a narrow pelvis? You know, that's bone, and the hips are going to be bone, so bone on bone isn't going to come through there. So you might put your hand in, you'll feel the foot, you'll say, no way. Sometimes if the cow is progressing normally and she's really forcing, but the legs are still crossed, I always find that as a sign. The thing of putting the hand in around the head, I don't know, you get caught out with that a lot, because if it's a bony Belgian blue, he might have small feet. You might get your hand and knees around the head, but that's not really what you're worried about.
So some people say if legs are crossed, that's a bad sign, a big shoulder coming.
Yeah, exactly. So cross legs are. Okay. So if the head is back, depending on the breed, you know, if the head is not coming, maybe there's a reason for it, or if the cow has started to progress but given up. Like nature knows best. If you know that she knows there's something wrong, she might just go off calving.
In terms of a foot being back as such, how in terms of getting that foot back up, are you saying get the foot? Just tell me about getting that foot back up.
Yeah. So again, lubrication all the time. So even if you go in for your initial handling and I feel the foot's down, I'll take my hand out, I'll go back to the bottle and I'll go in again. So it's important to cup it. Try and cup the digits in your hand, because those claws can be they're hard and they're pointing. You don't want to tear the vaginal wall or the uterine wall. So if you can, even if they're too far back and you can feel the knee, grab the knee, gentle traction on that will pull it up a small bit, then down, cup your hand under the foot, and in best case scenario it will pop up.
And are you saying, leave her alone then, or would you pull away then once you get a foot up?
I'd be inclined to take the calf at that stage, because you know, it depends on how long she's been calving, depending on the reflex of the calf. He's looking fairly dead in there now. But you know, again, like that, everything is variable. If it's a small calf and she's going fine up to that, you can leave her at it. Maybe I'd give her oxytocin or something, but I'd normally take them at that stage, because.
Okay. So, you're doing a lot of talking now.
Sorry.
Nervous. No, we'll get ropes on. I think we'll get ropes on. Right. I get a bit worried.
Someone going to hold this for me.
Yeah, I know that. So, talk to us in terms of putting on those ropes, in terms of the correct position, and even putting them on inside or putting them on outside. Where are you saying to put them on?
Okay, well if you can pull the calf out with your hands, that's great. If you can get it far enough out to put them on, you know you're on to a winner then anyway, because that's the shoulders coming out. Red for right, blue for left, because you know once you go to pick up the jack, the legs could cross again or something like that, so at least you'll know exactly what foot you're working with.
Have you a preference for ropes in terms of there's white ropes you can get, there's finer ropes you can get? Is there a preference for a type of rope?
Oh yeah, I'd always recommend these ropes. They're thicker and they're stronger, and they're colour coded for the feet, and they're coloured. If you drop them in the straw you won't lose them.
Okay.
So as well, something to have as well as maybe a head rope if you
we have to. Yeah, we have.
We will do it normal first, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right. So above the fetlock, so you can see the loop there in the rope. Just pop it in around the foot. Again, if you've come out to get your ropes, lubricate again. Put the knot at the bottom of the foot, not at the side.
Why are you putting the knot at the bottom of the foot now?
Just because it provides more even pressure around the leg. Oh yeah, I'm sorry anyways.
That's the right one.
Phew. Right, with the ropes on. It's coming nice now.
So the head is coming there okay, but are you saying, just tell us about using, I suppose, a head rope. We have a head rope here. Are you recommending in all cases to use a head rope, or is it just in cases where a head isn't coming right?
Oh no, I'd only use it if the head isn't coming right, and I suppose something very important to note as well is it's only a guide. It's not to help, you know, it's going on to the calf's head. I would never, and I know some vets do it, but I never attach it to the jack. I always put it on to the calf and then I get the farmer to pull it, because it's just guiding the head up, and as soon as I see the nose and the eyes, I just tell him to let it go, because I don't want to put too much pressure on the calf.
So in terms of putting on that head rope, what are you saying? What way to put it on?
Yeah, so I put the rope in between my fingers like that. I'll take this fella out, Bitchy.
Yeah.
Just slip it over one ear. and over the other ear. Important that it doesn't go around his neck. I have a knot here in mine so it doesn't tighten too much, but if you are going to tighten it into the mouth, because that will guide. If you have it down here, he's coming this way and you're choking him, so make sure it goes into the mouth like that. And again, it's just a guide. It's not actually, the real pressure is going to be on the legs, not on the head.
Okay, so we'll say head is coming, feet are coming, so now it's time to get on the jack and ratchet like no tomorrow.
No. No, I suppose the key is to work with the cow. You know, there's no point in panic at this stage. The calf is coming. If I manage to get the calf out this far with my arms, I know he's going to come anyway. You know, it's all about progression. Same as that, when I put my hand in first and I pull the leg, the shoulder starts to come. Like at this point, you're at the shoulders, so if this starts coming, chances are you're going to get the back end out as well.
Okay, so is it too late at this stage to think it's very tight here, ring Sarah, back it up here, or is it?
Put him in a small bit now, you're okay now.
Okay. So when is it too late? You're out to the shoulders?
Once the shoulders are out, you're probably better off to keep going.
Okay, so on with the jack.
Oh. It's lovely and clean.
There you go. Is there different jacks? Is there, in terms of, I suppose, have you a preference on different jacks, or is there different vets use different jacks, or what's your opinion on those?
Yeah, well, this is the big jack. This is the one I use myself. I find it very good. The head as well, you know, you're going to vary to your own cow. So if you have bigger cows, you might need to widen the head. If you're thinner cows, you can put a rope or a bit of twine or a chain around the top to stop it from slipping. But, you know, there's plenty of different types. The one thing I will say about the Vink is it's very strong. So, you know, I always find if I have full pressure on and I haven't got the shoulders out, then you know that it's time to do something else rather.
You want to do damage if you keep going.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, hope for the best. So you're putting on there's a red rope, we'll say, for the right, and there's knots on different there in terms of different lengths.
Yeah, exactly. And I suppose what you can do there is if you need to jack one leg further than the other, but again, if there's a reason that you're going off here. If there's a reason that you're taking off, if you have to pull one foot before the other, there's probably something wrong. I might just hold this here for my. This is my jack.
Don't be making excuses.
Now we're going now. Okay. So I suppose it's important to know that when the calf is stretched, he can't breathe. So when you have the pressure on like this, so tight.
When do you say it?
I'm saying stop now. Let that bit of metal.
The hell with them blues.
Okay, so.
Oh, just hold on a second. We'll go another wee bit. I'm going to ask you a question now.
Oh.
Rope off.
Very bad.
It's alright.
Don't panic.
No, I'm not panicking. No, I'm not panicking. Calf's starting to ball here.
I'm balling as well here.
Okay. Getting stuck there. So there's 2 points, I suppose, we get stuck at.
Yeah.
Getting stuck at the back. Which is worse? Getting stuck at we'll say. Are you stuck here, or is it the fact that the hips is coming through the pelvis at that point? Or
well, I suppose the shoulders are gone out through the pelvis here, so it's not bone on bone there at the minute. What's coming now is the problem part. So you'll nearly know when the calf is starting to come like that, like the shoulders are out there. So
is there anything you can do at this stage if you're stuck at the shoulders there, at the chest, we'll say? Is there anything really you can do to?
Not really. I would
pull on.
Well, you can lubrication as well. If the vet is there, if there's a lot of tightness around the vulva there, a lot of the times I would, if it's a young heifer and it's very tight, you can do an episiotomy, so you can actually cut the thing there, and that will make the opening wider.
Is there merit in getting more lube in if you can, but it's usually very tight?
I would definitely try and get lube in at this stage, because the hips are going to be bigger anyway, and if the lubrication is in there at that stage, then it's going to make a difference.
Are you pulling now with the? I know this cow obviously isn't present, but are you pulling with the cow, or are you pulling and you're just taking off the slack and using the jack as a lever, and taking off the slack and using the jack as a lever?
No. If the cow is forcing, you're going to use her force, because she's one push from a cow is a very powerful thing. Like, so if you can use that to your advantage, that's great. So what I do is, if you just pull the calf until the ropes get tight, and she starts to force, then you lever downwards. Okay, so then you're working together with the cow. So it's chest down now, he's flying out. Now flip.
Now we're coming to a big point now, big hips here. What to do at this point, where you full stretch on here now at the minute, not moving. What do we do?
Okay, well, I always think of the 4 R's. So relax is number 1. or for resuscitate. So you can at this stage, if the calf is a bit groggy, his chest is out, he's able to breathe, you can start reviving him at that stage, putting cold water in the ear, putting straw up the nose. The third one I would do is the ropes. I would move the ropes up above the knees.
Why do you do that now?
Because you've had the pressure on above the fetlock the whole time up to this, and the bone above the knee is stronger as well than above the fetlock. There's less chance of breaking a leg. So that's your ropes, and then what's the fourth one? Oh, rotate. So if the cow is down, you can either rotate the calf, so then you're removing the bone on bone, and if the cow is down, you can rotate the cow herself. You can put her up on her back, or try and open her pelvis a bit more.
So some people still try and lift a cow's leg maybe to try and open the pelvis a little bit more, is that it?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Will I keep going?
Yeah, well, chance that you're the vet, I don't know. Easy now. It's always €100. I don't want to kill the calf. She's a good cow. Go on ahead. She's a cow a lot more times too next week.
So she's pushing now.
Talk to me there. So you're levering down. When you get the hips, you're using the lever as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey!